Welcome back to another episode of Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishment. We're right where we left off. We're trying to figure out who the killer is. And yeah, this case has taken significantly longer than I thought it was going to take.
We can begin our experiment.
So we found a little bit here, but not much.
You came to make a donation? Glory to...
So they're all on opium at this place. They're all on opium and fucking...
Follow my path, and better you will feel.
So yeah, the only thing we can do right now is perform an analysis. 90%. Well, we know that they stole shit, so we know that much. We know that they stole the plants. They blatantly said that they did. So the only thing we're really looking for now is who the murderer is, but I still think it's Hamish. There's been nothing to deter that for me. Just about everything's pointing to him being the killer. His office looks right at the room that he died in.
One of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done. I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask.
I feel like this one looks like it's poisonous the most. What do I do with it?
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid.
Oh, put back. Oh, fucker ate it. Oh, and then
it closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more. It appears to open after being soaked. No reaction. This plant seems to have had no reaction.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Toxic gas with spores. Extraordinary. The plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial Collection Room. We may see things more clearly there.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions.
Deadly, oh, no, come on, move. Deadly position, missing deadly plants. The Divine Syndicate left the plants at Kew Garden in order to murder when Kew done at a later date. But they didn't leave them there because they had it. Someone stole the deadly plants before the Divine Syndicate were able to. I don't know. I don't think they're involved. I don't think they're involved at all. So, yeah, actually, no, that makes sense that they, because, I mean, we got the plants from there, but they said that the three that they were looking for weren't there. Yeah, so that makes sense, actually. Do we have any evidence? No. Okay. So we gotta talk to all the suspects real quick. And yeah. But yeah, as I said, this case is like significantly longer than I thought it was gonna be. I don't know why it's so long, to be honest with you. Because this is our like second full episode, or this is our third full episode on it. Gonna talk to everyone one more time.
Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Maybe it was the fact that it was like literally just an accidental poisoning.
Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious? Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of something, or Lear Pontus.
I don't think he's the
no,
killer.
Wait.
He doesn't have
These
enough
Latin names. And I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes. He came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh, my God.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Yeah, I don't think the killer's Albert, because there's just not enough for him to fucking... He just doesn't know enough about plants and shit to be able to do this. And I don't think it's Margaret, or whatever her name is. I really do think it's just Hamish. It's the most obvious choice. I didn't realize how many fucking doors are in there. Alright, let's talk to her.
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me.
Isn't that what they call the bathroom,
Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
Okay, that lines up
And
with what
then?
Albert said.
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house.
I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
Thank you, miss.
How the fuck do they all know that?
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
Okay. So he inhaled the spores, then he tried to escape the room, which ultimately led to his death.
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released, and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system. The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
What the fuck does it want me to do? It's telling me to hit both of them. Stop telling me to hit shit. Jesus. My God. It's such a process. Wait, do I need to go to the ventilation system or do I need to go... Oh, fuck. Let me go in here real quick. Said 320. There's no 320, lying piece of shit. She said it's in here, right? Nope, wrong thing. There we go, it's down here.
Here it is. Cylinder records.
Alright, let's listen to this real quick. we're just gonna have him sit in there.
These plants, classified as shrubs or grasses, have adapted to their arid environment due to a system of underground roots.
This recording seems very long. It is unnecessary to listen to all of it. Miss White was in the laboratory, as she told us.
Yeah, that's because she's not the killer.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
Can I... What the fuck does it want me to do? I can't... And the window closed.
We can see the...
See, I don't get it, because, like, I should be able to hit that button. I think I just need to follow it to the fucking ventilation thing. Yeah, I think I just need to follow it over here.
Before start, the power is on. The engine cannot be started whilst the engine has started. The ventilation system is working.
So now I think we can just go to the office and fucking hit that
Nursery.
switch.
We can see the interior of the... Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one. Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
Well, because Albert's could have been activated a while ago, you know what I mean? Hamish's opportunity. Yeah, it's because it's fucking Hamish, I swear to God. Hamish is guilty. Alright. Albert's studies. No. Albert didn't know jack shit. Could have been her, but she has knowledge of it, but it wasn't her. I guess I'll do lack of experience. Okay, so there is more clues that we didn't collect them all.
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
Why? I didn't find all the clues yet. Because it would have said that I found all the clues. It doesn't. It says there are no clues available at the moment. Which means that there are more clues. Alright, I guess we're just gonna arrest him. I don't know what to do. Hamish seems like the obvious choice. I mean, I think I have to just pick him. I don't think there's anything else I can do because I don't know. I'm missing a couple of clues, that's for sure. But yeah, we're just gonna leave it at Hamish because I think it's Hamish, to be fair. So we'll see. If it's not, we'll have to figure something out.
Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you.
It hasn't given me the option to absolve him or not.
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
I don't think it's Hamish anymore. I think I'm wrong. Where is he?
How?
Holmes, my God!
Yes, we found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it. The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
Life has become a living hell. I find it unbearable. Dunn deserved to die, but I cannot forgive myself for having his blood upon my hands. We Hamishes seem to have always fallen victim to our circumstance, and I find myself to be no exception. I must atone, and I shall do so here now. Farewell.
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
a club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
How? Clubfoot, Hamish's confession. Hamish acted alone, and Hamish was able to run due to the torsion of his clubfoot. Therefore, we shouldn't find out if he had sufficient time to lock the door. So then, we're gonna do that. He was working with her. Because there's no way that it was Albert. Right? There's just no way.
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
Okay. So, at 9:30, Albert meets Montague Dunn and Martin Hamish at the Seed House. Martin Hamish and Montague Dunn meet Albert at the Seed House around 9:30. Okay. Okay. It was around 20 minutes to 10 when Hamish and Montague Dunn went to the backyard. It was about 20 minutes to 10. Okay. Martin Hamish returns to the Seed House. Martin Hamish had a conversation with Tom. What is this one? Montague Dunn was in the dry tropics. After 10 minutes, Dunn recommended his inspection enter the dry tropics. He said 10 minutes later. So, boom. And then Hamish, Dunn recommended Hamish return to the Seed House, also 10 minutes after. Miss White is talking with Martin and Hamish. 10 minutes on. Martin and Hamish have pursuit with Miss White at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Miss White joins Hamish and Albert at the Waterley greenhouse. When she saw Hamish and Albert in the Waterley greenhouse, she joined them. 10:40. Montague Dunn is poisoned. Hamish ran to Albert as soon as he was reminded, which was around 10:30. Boom. Right, Hamish returns to talking with Miss White. Albert was in the Seed House the entire morning. He observed Hamish returning. Albert saw Hamish return from his 10 minutes past 10. Where Hamish returns from after talking. Hamish, to call Miss White was in the laboratory, so I report you. Fuck, I don't know for this one. Oh, he observed Hamish returning from visiting Miss White 10 minutes past 10.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time.
I think it's her. I don't think it's
Watson.
Albert.
Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
It's the bitch. Albert is not involved. Hamish is in White. White had time. I believe it's her. I don't think Albert would do that. As regardless of how much he disliked his father, I don't think he would do that. So boom, White is an accomplice. We're going to absolve her just because I'm trying to get the highest moral standing I could get. But I'm 90% sure that she was the accomplice. Just because it doesn't seem like something Albert would do, and the syndicate is completely out of question at this point. And if I get this right the first time, that's fucking sick, because it'll be the first case I get right.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
Oh, I don't know.
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
Damn.
I am using it.
Retard.
I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining: the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me, but she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
Sorry about that. I had to go to the bathroom real
Mr.
quick.
Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
I am not blaming you, Miss White. You are a young and brilliant woman, trapped in a dull and hostile world. Life has never been easy, men in particular.
You... It is hopeless.
Indeed. Well, it may be true that I cannot yet change the world, but I can spare your life.
My life. There is nothing left to save. I have lost everything. Do you hear me?
She's
Everything.
overdramatic as fuck.
And you were just like all the others. You would abuse and take advantage of a vulnerable woman.
I hardly think so. Now just listen to me.
I've tried so hard, but I have had enough.
Miss White, no!
She hasn't tried shit. Fucking pussy-ass bitch.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Fuck.
This is
And I can't reload it.
Tragic,
God
Holmes.
damn it.
Are you able to do anything?
I'm afraid not. The poison has been fulgurating. Her heart stopped instantly, poor child.
Jesus. That's some hardcore poison. Was I right, though? Yeah. I did. We're going to replay it real quick. Just because there is a trophy. I guess I have to replay through it either way. But there is a trophy to stop her from committing suicide. Ow. Committing suicide, I'm pretty sure. So, I need to stop her. But I'm just gonna like skip through the dialogue real fast. So that it doesn't take 20 minutes or whatever to fucking go through. Let me unplug this real quick. I plugged in the headset because it's dying, but it's like annoying as fuck because it keeps rubbing and that's all I hear. Okay. Yep. We're gonna absolve her still, just because that is the way to go. But we'll just skip through the dialogue real fast. That way it just takes significantly less time. I guess I gotta just be fast as fuck. I don't know. I didn't know what I was supposed to do though. I guess I'm just supposed to aim and hit X. I have no idea. Like it gave me no time to comprehend at all. Like it was fucking stupid. I ain't letting you get a fucking word out, bitch. Alright, so now we're gonna just do that again real quick. Step forward.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Alright, so we're gonna take one step further and then I'm gonna be Watson. I gotta just fucking aim
Stop
and hit
this
X.
foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
I'm just gonna fucking spam it too.
It's too late.
Bitch. He hit it like a
well
little bitch.
done,
Yeah,
Watson.
there was a trophy.
She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
And of course, we were right. Found all the clues. Beautiful. So, our personality ranking is really high up there. So, once we finish the next case, a half moon walk, I should get another trophy for having max personality. I am going to have to replay through the entire game again, though, because I did not get every possible choice in each case. So I am going to have to replay through it again, which is going to be tiresome, but it's fine. I'll do it in like a couple months.
We have been invited, Watson.
We have? Where to?
To the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. street turnips in homemade juice, and it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Well, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes!
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes, it's my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
Well, and forget about the dinner. Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Okay.
Very well.
I will be there to help you. I just got to interact with Toby real quick.
Hello, Toby.
Boom,
All you
trophy.
need now.
Alright. So... Alright. Let's go to Scotland Yard first, and then we'll head over there. Yeah, we'll go to Scotland Yard, talk to his brother, and then we'll go to the crime scene and see what's over there. Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised by how much I enjoyed this game. I didn't think I was gonna like it.
Mr. Holmes!
It just seemed very clunky, but the more I played it, it just felt fine.
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
But he
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
Alright, well, let's go look at it.
So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon. It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder. Two out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots.
It's not looking good.
These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting. A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt.
Alright, let's go talk to the brother. Oh, I guess he's already in the interrogation room. Nope. Oh.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Why do you have to say it so aggressively?
Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
Well, let's look at you real quick. So he has a deep scar on his face, occasional fights, grew up on street. Police beat the shit out of him. Recent beating, resisted arrest, hot-headed. I mean, he could have not resisted arrest. He's an office clerk, I guess. Westridge prison tattoo, past imprisonment, committed a crime.
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw two men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man. Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps... It's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
We shall see you soon, young man.
Alright, let's go and look at the crime scene. But so far I don't think it's Leighton. Leighton's statement, Leighton's revolver. What? Lootless. I don't know why his revolver and him wouldn't go together, but whatever. Do I need to go this way?
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving.
Yeah, I wish they would remaster the...
Who were the victims?
Ripper game.
The two men here, both shot. The stab fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, A flower seller who was over at the far side of the street.
Okay.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Okay.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
Makes sense.
What were the fireworks in honour of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course. Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Okay.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
Alright, let's examine the bodies. Okay.
He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant.
Which is... that's what he said.
The bullet penetrated his stomach. A dreadful wound.
Okay.
A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some time there. Brian Vercotti and Leighton Chapman both have identical Westgate Prison tattoos. They were most likely acquainted.
Indeed.
Brian Vercotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die.
Okay. Then this fellow here. Shot in the head.
The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance. This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens.
Plate, stuck object, piece of wood.
A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look. This shard of wood is quite new.
Two victim. His revolver. Prove that it's a double murder, which we already knew. It was worth a shot to see. No, two victims. Okay. Alright, let's keep it going. Just going right here.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective, gentleman? I've heard of you. And, well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story?
Crimean War. He is a war veteran. He's missing a button. Poor life. It's usually how it is for vets. Requires support. Weak leg. Limping. So he's not the killer.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment.
I mean, different guns.
Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
Okay.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
Yes, you did, Mr. Turner. Turner's view, dark window. Mr. Turner stated that he remained at the window of his flat until the police arrived. However, this is a conflict with the mayor's statement, as the constable did not see anyone at the window. Different shots, 2 victims, Layton's revolver. Simultaneous shots. Turner could hear the contrast between 2 fired shots, as in fact 3 shots were made. First, a single shot was fired, and then 2 guns fired simultaneously directly afterwards. I don't think that's right. Turner could hear the contrast between 2 fired shots as they were made from different points. That seems a little more proper. Okay, then those don't go together, as we know. Alright. Let's go talk to the other. It still says that I can make a deduction, but I can't. None of these go together. So I don't know why it still says that I can make a deduction. So then it said to talk to her?
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him, because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street, prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
Right. Common statement. Whose statement? The person Elaine Chapman describes in the statement as a fragment of his own imagination created to vindicate himself. Common statement. Lane's revolver. Compelling evidence, the witness testimony using the crime weapon clearly point to one possible goal. It does. It does point to him, sadly. Alright. But there's still more to see and more to do. So we do have some dialogue options, which I'm assuming is we're going to have to go back to Layton and talk to him. Talk to Mr. Turner and check the view from spy. Okay. So next episode we'll start by talking to Mr. Turner, and then we will head back and talk to Mr. Chapman. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of Sherlock Holmes. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you guys want to see on the channel in the future. And I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. Stay safe out there. And peace out, guys.